Hello everyone. I'm sorry about that. I am sorry about the delay. Uh, I'll be honest with you. I went for a nap and I didn't hear my alarm. Pisces moonbeam woke me up about 15 minutes ago. Okay, so yeah, I overslept my own live stream. I overslept my own event. So again, I do apologize about that, but the thing is happening. Uh, I'm going to do a live stream, and it's about the Sun in Pisces, which is moving into 18th of February, and if I have to be precise, 18th of February at 5:34 p.m. Eastern Standard. Oh, the Sun is going to move um, into Pisces. I'm not going to talk about astrology today, as I'm doing for the transits. Thanks to Pisces Moonbeam and her telling me what to say when it comes to astrology. I need rest. No, actually, I don't. But it just so happened that I was sleepy and yeah. Anyway, so if you had paid attention to the thumbnail, you would have saw 4 cards, which are as follow. Second. The first one, that will be the Page of Cups, followed by the second one, which stands as the Ace of Cups. The third card, that will be the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, I'm sorry. And the final card, that will be the Hierophant. Okay, so that's in the grand scheme of things, because I cannot guarantee that that's going to be for every single one of us, but that's the collective reading. And in the grand scheme of things, the month should be, for a lack of a better word, I would say fantastic. Okay. Hello, Shakti. That is due to the Page of Cups being first, and actually due to all of the cards. So what may be the problem though for the month itself? The problem is that Ace of Cups being into the second position, and usually it manifests in a in a terrible way, but not this time around. And what it shows it is that we may kind of like what is the opposite of the doom and gloom, right? That is the state we may end up in, which under normal circumstances would have been an awesome thing. However, that Hierophant being at the end, it speaks that there will be an important, the word is not important, substantial. So substantial aspects, enterprises, if you will, as well, endeavors that we have to attend to. And when we are in a state opposite to the doom and gloom, people tend to be daydreaming, you know, to see things always from the bright side of life. That makes them be irresponsible, immature, and it's kind of like flying into, I believe in English is called flying into the cloud nine. In my country we call it that, you know, you are building towers in the sky, which should not be a state that we should take on into the upcoming 1 month. Because into the upcoming 1 month, there is a looming change on the horizon for all of us. For some people, are going to be for a big thing. For others, it's going to be for a small thing. But for all of us, that change which is looming on the horizon is going to make us reassess things. It's going to make us reassess how we see one thing or another, how we think about one thing or another, what we want to do moving forward, and in generally that will provoke a crucial self-assessment and reassessing the standpoints and the positions we do take toward one person or another, and again, like I said, toward one thing or another. And the end of the process of it should be, for most of us, we're gonna end in being attached to things we love rather than being attached to things we have to. Well, that's the beauty of it, that it will be simultaneously things we love and simultaneously things we have to. And the hint for it is the Knight of Swords himself being here into the third position of the spread. Because the Knight of Swords, it is the only Court of Swords that, when it's about to make a move, it always consults its logic with its emotions. And in other words, the Knight of Swords, it is the only Court of Swords which decides in such a way that what he is about, he or she, in that case we, are about to do, it's simultaneously something that does make sense. So it's not a stupid move, it's not a stupid action. Or if we are deciding to say something, it's not a stupid thing to say, and simultaneously with that, it's something that we like doing, and it's something that we like being a part of as well. So it's a win-win, kind of like a situation. And because we do have that option to be a win-win, that's why, you know, we may become a bit careless, which is the Ace of Cups representation that we do have here. But bottom line, I do apologize for that. Bottom line of all that, it is that by the end of that month, for some it's going to happen sooner than later, you know, we are going to end up being fixed on one particular path, direction, goal, whichever way you want to call it, which will be one of the most substantial or important essential things for us. Is going to be wise. The choice which that path is going to be will be one of the most intelligent things we did recently. And no matter who is there to applaud us for it, it will be something without a shadow of a doubt we will know we have to follow. And that is the collective reading. Now, a few notes about the show before I move to the 12 readings, one for each star sign. First of all, it's important that you listen to your three. Which are your three? That is your sun sign, obviously. That is when you were born, right? You may be Aries, or you may be Cancer. You know, I am personally born under the sign of Scorpio. The second one, it is your moon sign. That is where your moon is falling, okay? Or where your moon stands. And the third one, that will be your rising, which is one of the most difficult of the three to be determined, and that is because the only thing you need to know, it is your exact hour of birth. But even if you don't know it, your sun and moon sign should work well. Okay. So with that said, now I'm gonna read for the 12 star signs. I'm gonna start from Aries, and I'm gonna end up with Pisces. And amongst those reads, there are gonna be also 3 readings that will be gift specifically for you guys. So 3 of you can have a free reading with me here live on the chat, on the on YouTube and through the chat. So what happens is that after Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, and not or, but or and Pisces, I'm going to announce a break, and all of you, any of you, can ask a question into the comments down below. A question which you want me to read for with my tarot cards, something that concerns you. And I usually give 5 minutes people to ask their questions, and then Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick one of your questions, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Other than that, if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services, also their pricing. So based on your budget and also your needs, you can go for whichever service suits you best. And finally, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you will have your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Should your Super Chat carries no inquiry with it whatsoever, then the reading is going to be about how this Sun in Pisces is going to affect you personally. You can consider that as a 1 month reading from 18th to the other 18th, I believe. No, it is not to the other 18th, 17th or so. Or something, 20th to the 20th of March. Okay, and should your super chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format I just did for the collective, and I'm about to do for the star signs, a 4-card spread. All right, so with that said, we put the cards back into the deck, and with that said, first we do have Aries. First card for Aries, that will be the 8 of Cups. By the way, Sean, it is unacceptable. That's the way I see it, truth be told, okay? But it's just there is no excuse for that I have overslept, although I have no control over it. So the second one, that will be the Hierophant. Afterwards, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. And the final one for Aries, that will be the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Wands, I'm sorry. Not the Cups, but the 6 of Wands. And for the Knight of Pentacles, we do have the Knight of Swords, the King of Swords. I'm sorry, the King of Swords. So for Aries, this will be rather fixing up stuff kind of period here, is because throughout the whole season, the Pisces season, you will find yourself not having the ideal status or the situation. And don't get me wrong, your situations are gonna be good enough. It's just not as good as you want them to be. And your main focus for what those cards are showing is to get the maximum out of. So that will be your slogan here, the maximum out of. For example, your marriage, for example, your current job, or some kind of a deal that you're doing with one or the other. And you are going to be right to go forward with that, because the Hierophant that we do have here into the second position, at least for you, especially when it comes to the ordinary life. It says that it's all about the money. Now, if you want to focus on the money or making up money, that's the month you do it. And if you can do things well, you never do them for free, guys. Okay, so that's pretty much the guidance that these tarot cards are giving you, because should you focus on rewards or getting rewards, rewards are going to pretty much manifest for you. That's if those cards are to be believed, that's what's guaranteed by the Six of Wands. Okay, though we do have at the end of the reading, that is the wraparound of that spread. Now, there are going to be people that you will have to align with, not very bright. Okay, not very bright individuals that by their core, they are a followers rather than I was about to say stupid things. So stupid thing, I'm sorry. So they are followers. They prefer not to think, in a sense of, they prefer not to have to figure out what to do. They prefer someone to figure out for them and point them the direction. So this Pisces season, if you wish, you can be so that you point and people follow. It's just the perfect, how can I put it into in words? That's the perfect situation, or rather like a perfect storm for you, Aries, to make people believe what they want to believe, while in the same time they do contribute for your well-being, and without them being deprived or anything, or being lied about anything. It is just, you know, twisting and withholding information that doesn't concern them really. It's not something that is going to make their life better or worse. Okay, you may transform your situations from more desirable, like, you know, it's a good but you want more, from that kind of a situation into a very successful and probably lucrative one. So you will transform your current, let's put it that way, average experience into far better perspective. Okay, so that's how the Pisces season will affect you guys. All right, next that will be Taurus. For Tuesday, Nelly. We do have the Hierophant for Taurus. Moving on next, that's going to be the Eight of Pentacles. Afterwards, we do have the Death card. And the final one, that's going to be the Six of Pentacles. So it's like for the next month, it's like you, Taurus, what you're putting up to rest, well, that is, you are the only one who can say, because that is what Taurus is about, at least here. So what happens is that the more the time progresses, moving into the Pisces season, you Taurus will start realizing that you are holding on to aspects. For a lack of a better word, I'm gonna say it aspects. So you are holding on to aspects. It could be a hobby of yours, or some kind of a interaction, like some kind of a connection with a person, or maybe a stereotype. You're holding on to some kind of a dream or a place, whatever. The point is that you are holding on to aspects that are no longer important, not just only important, they just don't make sense anymore. And at least for now, because that is marked by the death card, at least for now, outside people can say that that doesn't make any sense. Why? Well, because you are going to be still emotionally affected by those things. And when you are emotionally affected, they make sense to you, right? It's just, you can't see clearly. A person can, not just you in a sense of, you know, only you Taurus, but anyone who is emotionally connected to something cannot see clearly. For example, if you are addicted to gambling doesn't make any sense, at least not to me. Drugs doesn't make any sense. Drugs, gambling, and alcohol are the only things in this world, that is my personal opinion, that don't make any sense whatsoever. Well, gambling, only if you win the very first time you gamble, and you quit right there, right then. Okay, that is the only time that it makes sense, but otherwise it doesn't. Anyway, so they do make sense to you because you are emotionally attached, but for the people outside of that attachment, it doesn't make any sense you going for it. So it's very important to listen to those around you, especially those who has a more life experience, people that have been there. They went to the very end, and now they're coming back from that place, and you are going to meet them halfway down the road. And those people are going to tell you that what you are doing, what you're striving for, doesn't lead to anywhere. And it is up to you. It is up to you to believe them or not. Highly advisable for you to do so. But that with the gambling or the drugs or the alcohol was a very severe example, because for you it's more about the details. Okay, let's put it that way. Let's say that you want to renovate your home, okay, and make change the interior, repaint the walls, and so on and so forth. And it is just, that means that certain details of the picture that you want to renovate, they just don't fit. They could be cool 10 years ago. Now the fashion changed, the market changed, so probably what you are seeking for is not on the market anymore, and so on and so forth, and that's why you have to change it. So that is the more accurate example here that I should give. Bottom line, guys, it is that throughout the next month you are going to start seeing your things, and what you are believing in are going to start not twisting, but more like shape shifting into a more updated version of the situations you're into, up until the point where it will click pretty well and it will fit pretty well with the current situations that you are in, career-wise, relationship-wise as well, and what your expectation can be when it comes to love life or career. Well, in love life, you can expect to build up ever more trust into the people you love and into the person you have interest into and into your spouse right now. While for business, the expectations that you can have is to attend to things that you would pretty much believe into, and for that you are not going to do them because of the money. Money are going to be like something that it is by default coming your way. You are going to do them because you believe in them and because you like them. All right, so next we do have Gemini. Karen, thank you so much for your double $3 US dollars. One for myself. The other one is for Pisces Moonbeam. And Pisces Moonbeam, thank you for your 3 Canadian, which are for Karen. So we are gonna have our readings at the end of the stream, it seems. Let me put them into the list. All right. Yeah, Shanna, Gemini. All right, 9 of Wands for Gemini. Afterwards, we do have the 3 of Cups, followed by the Knight of Swords, and the last one, the Ace of Cups. The additional one to the Knight of Swords, that will be the 3 of Swords. What? At least someone is decreasing their prices into this world of inflation. Unheard of. Anyway, so yeah, 1 second. All right, Gemini. So it's pretty narrowed. Here, what do I mean is that, well, basically what happens here is that throughout that Pisces season, 1 month, you are going to interact with people. Now, the interaction itself, I don't know if oh, that would have been a bad joke. Well, you're not gonna like these interactions, at least at first. Although, knowing a Gemini, being a pretty good friend with a Gemini, I could say that you are handling those kind of situations pretty well. What I mean is that the people that you are gonna interact for the most part are people who are not gonna spare you anything, in a sense of what they're telling you. And it's just you are going to be criticized, guys, a lot. Some of that criticism is going to be quite the word is not exactly painful. It's more like let's say you may even feel insulted. And here I appeal to you, don't overreact to it. I mean, if someone tells you something, right, and you don't know what to say right away, I mean, your instinct is right away to jump into fight. Don't, at least not immediately. Sleep on it at least a day, And for the most part, you will see that what that individual is saying, they are right. Okay, so they are right. And all these criticisms are going to affect your conscious environment. What I mean is that they will affect those aspects of your life that you can change, right? You can readapt, you can realign, you can be better, right? It's not about trying, it's about being better. So it does depend. Are you gonna listen to the constructive? It's not even constructive, it's healthy criticism, or you are going to suffuse yourself with those individuals around you that are cheering you, I will say it that way, for being a little bit more polite, cheering you up no matter what you do. For example, you may soil your pants and they still are gonna cheer you up, saying, "Oh my God, good job! Let me smell it. Let me. It's the best smell I ever." Kind of like gulped, right? So, because there are that kind of people, right? So you do have those two choices. But if you are to be realistic, and you listen, or rather like interact more with those who are not afraid to tell you what they really think about your actions, about your behavior, and you take on the positive part of it, meaning the criticism itself, and you readapt according to it, you are to transcend your day-to-day routine into something that you're gonna freaking love it after that. Okay, so it's all about that, guys. Not fixing, but more like adapting in a way so you can be better, and thus your entire life is gonna get better. Okay, so that is your reading, basically. All right, next, Cancer. Seven of Cups for Cancer. Moving on, next we do have the World. Followed by the Star. And the last one is going to be the Three of Cups. So it's it's a bit more complicated than that. But think of it that way. Cancer is that this transit, this season, the Pisces season, more often than not, will bring to you an unexpected good fortunes. What do I mean by that? Well, imagine that you are facing difficulties constantly, and that is basically the places that those cards are gonna manifest for you, where it is just things don't go your way, like always. Well, this time around, miraculously, for a change, they are gonna go your way at least once, and from there, or rather like for the first time, and from there most likely they are going to keep on going your way, because for what those cards are showing, I do apologize for that. For what those cards are showing, the shape of your endeavors are gonna take more and more shape of your ideals, your standards. So basically things are gonna start developing more and more the way you want them to and the way you expect them to, all right, and the way basically you are striving to. Now, what is interesting here is that world being on the second position, and that speaks for abandonment, or rather like relinquishing. I don't know how to put it into words. That is when that is when you see that one thing isn't going exactly your way, and you decide, you know what, I'm not gonna put up with that anymore. Which is a valid kind of like a valid mindset, if you ask me. But within this, or rather like within this mm, within this endeavor, or an enterprise, it is what those cards are going to manifest, or in that kind of endeavors and enterprises, those cards are going to manifest, where the turnaround are going to the turnarounds are going to happen. And now there will be a reason why you should keep up with them, and there will be a reason why you should not close or seek on closure, so to speak. uh, Now, the guidance of the cards, though, it is not to get ahead of yourself. What I mean is that there will be a, a sequence, for a lack of a better word, how you should proceed forward. And you cannot rush the fifth step first, right? From the first to the fifth step. You gotta go through the second, then through the third. So it's very important that you are consistent and as well consecutive. That is important, because otherwise there are going to be disappointments, all right? I mean, at least, well, not at least, but that is the most severe punishment that you're going to face. But they could be very, very big disappointments, which, by the way, are going to bounce you back, and you will have to start anew. You have a whole month of trying your way, and why you should, when you can do it from the first try, only if you are consistent, consecutive, and patient as well. And by the end of the season, which is by the 20th of March, you are going to see the very first results of, let's put it that way, of that new era in your life, and you will like them, right? Not just only you, but also the people around you will like them as well. So it's an unexpected good fortune for you, Cancer, which opens up, and just don't drown yourself in it, all right? That's what those cards are showing up for you. All right, so now the first break is going to take place, and one of you guys can have a free reading with me. And all that you got to do in order to contest for one is input a question into the comments down below. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of your questions, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Other than that, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through super chats, you're gonna have your reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. Should your super chat carries no inquiry with it, the reading is going to be about how the sun in Pisces is going to affect you personally. That you can consider that as a 1 month reading, 1 month ahead reading for you. And if your super chat is $20 or above, the reading is going to be that format I'm doing for the star signs right now, which is that 4-card spread. What do you think that means? Pisces Moonbeam, I sneezed on the truth, so... Hey, Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine, we start late today. I overslept. I overslept myself. Oh, okay. I never knew that. Here, every time I sneeze and my grandma is around, she's always making a comment like, "You are catching a cold." I don't know why, and that is every single one of the old people here. I don't know why the elders are associating sneeze with a cold, while sneeze has nothing to do with a cold. Well, one of the reasons could be a cold, but sneezing up, there could be many other reasons rather than just the cold. Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Tammy. I had that as well when I was working full-time job. I don't know, Pisces Moonbeam. Also, it's for me then. Okay. Um. All right. I don't think that that's the same Jasmine. Pisces Moonbeam. I don't think that that's the same Jasmine. The surname is different. The surname is Keres or Kares. Hey Anna, welcome to the stream. Thank you, Jasmine, for your $20 support. Thank you. All right then. It's only one question given, at least for now. Michelle, so it will be yours. What do you need to know right now? Keep up that one for the second free reading. I already drew for this current one. Alright, those are your cards, Michelle. So what you need to know it is that you are placing your trust and reliability into the right sources. That is what you need to know. So basically, for lack of better words, you are associating yourself with the right things. All right, moving next, we do have Leo. Anna, thank you for your $20 support. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading for how the sun in Pisces are going to affect you personally. All right, so Leo. First one is the Chariot, followed by the Hierophant, the Hermit. I'm sorry. Moving on next, we do have the Two of Cups. The final one will be the Ten of Cups. All right, so it's a very specific case that we do have here. Okay, very specific case. And that is relating to intimacy, love as well. And especially if you are single, guys, right? Especially if you're single, very high chance to connect with a person in the next month. Very, very high chance. Now, the issue of all that, it is that when you make that connection, that interaction, so to speak, you will have the tendency at that given stage to brush it off. Long story short, you may not find that individual very interesting, or rather you may find that individual rather superficial and not exactly as deep as you would like. And that is just the first glance. Okay, so what happens it is that you are going to judge the content by its cover, so to speak, and yeah, and you are going to make a mistake if you do so, right? It's because first, for what those cards are speaking here is that your judgment and your actions, they could be a bit premature for its time. And the second is that for you, the essence of one thing or another, it's, for lack of better expression here, it will be hidden at first. So you will need time within the situation, time spent with one individual or another, time deliberating over one aspect or another for your project, and so on and so forth. So you can reach the essence, you can see the essence, and understand the core of the situation here and how beneficial is going to be for you. And that primarily is going to relate to your social interactions, and more specifically, you know, the connection you establish with other people, which are pure connections, like romantic interactions, right? Romantic relationships, like best friendships, okay, parental relationships, and so on and so forth. And basically, what your sight once being fixed on the superficial things or the superficial impression over a one individual or another, should you keep it fixed on that individual, on these people, let's put it that way, the more and more you will see and you will be able to scale that actually these people have everything necessary to make you happy, okay, and to contribute for the wellness, for the emotional wellness and the happiness of your life. Other than that, Leo, the month, this season should be rather quite productive. It's very likely that you will fulfill a wish of yours. You may wish to go somewhere or to establish something, and it's very likely that you are going to accomplish those wishes. These are short-term wishes, okay? And you are to feel very proud of your accomplishment, which is a good thing. And those accomplishments are also are going to contribute for your well-being. They're going to contribute for your satisfaction and for your fulfillment. So you will be happy. This is going to be a happy transit. This is going to be a happy season for you. And here I will need to, I don't need to, but I have to kind of like burst the bubble a little bit. Because with this, Hermit at the second position says that although those accomplishments are going to be considered by you as a big deal, in the grand scheme of things they aren't. You can do without them as well. So they don't have a key contribution, so to speak, for your long-term, let's put it that way, long-term happiness or a long-term success as well. All right, moving next, we do have Virgo. First one for Virgo, that will be the Ace of Swords, followed by the Nine of Swords. Moving on, next we do have the Ace of Wands. The final one for Virgo, that will be the Three of Pentacles. So we do have two most likely manifestations of that reading. Now, one is that there are going to be, the very least, few gainful enterprises at your plate, or the universe are going to present you with a few gainful enterprises in the next month. Now, because you will see through them, in a sense of that once the gainful enterprise comes your way, you will be able to scale it very well. You will be able to give an accurate assessment, right? What that enterprise is all about, what is going to come out of it, what you will have to deal with, and all these kind of things. For one or another reason, you, Virgo, are going to be, the word is not reluctant, it's not hesitant, it's more like apprehensive. It's more like an apprehensive to take it. So why is that? Well, because it will require from you to, well, it will look at you, it will look from your point of view that you will have to do the quote unquote the unthinkable for you. That is, it's like saying what you would never say, or approach what you would never approach, okay, or think what you would never think, and so on and so forth, which will require, which you are going to require about to have a certain support, which support is going to come your way, right? And through that support, you will be able to jump into a further development of your endeavors and as well of your enterprises, and above everything else, to basically make use of these gainful enterprises which are gonna come your way. Now, that's one of the way how these cards are to manifest. The other way is more specific, and it relates to some kind of conversations that you are gonna have throughout that month, right, that season. And those conversations are gonna be like Pisces moonbeam likes to express ourselves. They're gonna be right in the heart. So it will feel like a stab, not just only from your behalf, but also from the behalf of the people that you're going to talk about. You're going to say a lot of things, okay? And all of them true. You are going to be told a lot of things, which all of those things are going to be true as well. And believe it or not, even though at the start it may create a little bit of a tension in between you and your kids, for example, if those conversations are taking place there, or in between you and a friend of yours or your family, whatever the case, the more that it sinks in, the more you are to see reason into what had been told. And the more from how do you call it in English? the more these interactions are going to reshape from being cornered and have it and having to take it in, having to take in a pile of the S word, right? A pile of S's, or a big bowl of S's, warm S's, into a very fruitful discussions that will lead from a very direct and cold criticism into a very constructive criticism, and that way you all can improve, okay? So from a fights and scandals, they are going to start transforming more into a very honest and open discussions about the future of your relationship, for example, or the future of your friendship, or the future of your family, or the future of your job, and so on and so forth. It isn't about thinking outside of the box, Tammy. It's more about having the courage to do what you are scared of, but it's necessary. All right, next we do have Libra. For Libra, we do have the Fool card, followed by the Hermit. Moving on, next we do have the Strength, and the final one, that will be the Wheel of Fortune. It's a big one for Libra. The opposite one of Pisces, is it not? Pisces Moonbeam. All right, so it's quite telegraphed, and this season, but Libra is the opposite of Pisces, is it not? That's what I asked. Virgo is opposite to Pisces. Yeah, you're right. I mean, probably. All right, so oh, isn't okay. Anyway, so Virgo is the opposite. Anyway, for Libra, there will be a well, let's put it that way. There will be new circumstances in your life, guys, and they will be quite severe. They will be quite major. Those new circumstances are going to do two things. Now, the first is that they are going to sever you with your past. Okay, and through that severance, now most likely that severance will be with a past that you would want to be liberated from. Okay, that is most likely. Or if it is with a past that you don't want to be liberated from. It's a past that you basically need to put it where it belongs, behind your back. In either case, that was, you have nothing to do with that past of yours, okay? You will have the freedom to jump into the future, and that is what this transit it's bringing to you. It closes one door while it opens up another. And these circumstances will feel very random at your behalf, in a sense of that it's almost gonna feel like it's a chance, or by a chance. Like right now I'm watching again Lord of the Rings, and if you think about it, you know, Frodo had the ring by a chance. Or did he? Because only he had the spiritual resilience and endurance to withstand the evil of the ring. It's a pretty solid fight, and if anyone else would have failed, Frodo didn't. Well, he failed at the end, you know, at the very end of it, but that's besides the point. So it will feel very random, but actually it isn't. And this new door which opens for you, it could be literally anything. But what I can tell you from those cards, it is that once open, you are to be very enthusiastic about it. It's just it will breed a passion and determination, you know, and as well yeah, enthusiasm as well, that for you to chase, to go through that door and just chase what is beyond it. And once you cross it, once you cross the threshold of the door which opens for you, that will be the moment where you are gonna do a lifetime change that happens only once. And it seems that, well, it will feel like you do have a choice, but actually you don't. For what those cards are showing, that change is coming your way one way or another. It's always for the greater good, all right? And it's a change that comes only once in a lifetime, and you will take it, because nothing else is gonna make sense. So let me give you one example, okay? Let's say that a door closes with a love, right? For example, you close up your divorce, and you and your wife or a husband, you are gonna have nothing in common after that, right? And the divorce ends, and you part ways for good. So that is where you pretty much are liberated, relinquished from your past, severed from it. So that is one door closes, and very quickly another one opens, which is, you know, another relationship that will have nothing to do with the last one, meaning that it will carry on nothing from it. You will have even no incentive whatsoever to compare about people, which can go as far as you want it to go, right? All right, so that was for Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. First one for Scorpio, we do have the Six of Cups. Moving on, next that's going to be the Five of Cups. followed by Justice. And the last one for a Scorpio, that will be the Magician. Well, one comment I'm going to make here is that, well, Pisces Moonbeam, you gave up on putting up with my Sagittarius moon long time ago, but it seems that you can't do the same thing with your Mr. Pisces Moonbeam. So you have to put up with that, for what it seems. All right, Scorpio, it will be a pleasant experience, right? That season here is gonna bring to us activities, for a lack of a better word, like tasks at work or doing our job is gonna be very pleasant. Interacting with pleasant people, doing also pleasant stuff. It's just everything, or for the most part, guys, things are gonna be very very pleasant around us, and it is highly unlikely, or for the most part, we are gonna feel happy, we're gonna feel pleased within the next 1 month. And that will allow us basically to attend to literally everything that concerns us, from responsibilities to chores, and as well to human interactions, literally everything, with much more bear. It's like we are going to transform the chore into something pleasant to do, because we are going to find a way to do so. We are going to transform as well certain interactions into a nice friendships, and so on and so forth. And by the end of the whole transit, by the end of the whole season here, it's by the end of the whole season, we will build our sovereignty around it. I don't know how to put it into words. It's like we will make people see us for that, for a pleasant individual. We are going to make everybody sees us for an asset rather than a thorn in our heel, or in their heel as well. They're going to see us as an asset rather than a person who needs to be always pushed, and so on and so forth. It's a very generic reading for a Scorpio, and it's about us getting more aligned and getting more synchronized with the environment, and above everything else with the collective. But also is going to make us having more weight when it comes to statements. What I mean is that by the end of this season, once we say something, we express opinion, or we make a suggestion, right, or we display proofs, they will wait more than they have waited at the start. They have waited, yeah, at the start of this season. Okay. That being said, people are gonna listen us more, and they will believe in us more. And what all this is gonna lead to is that we are going to be accepted, liked, loved, worked with for who we are rather than for what is needed. Okay. Oh, so that's the problem, my rising sign. Yeah, I know. All right, so that was for Scorpio. Now the second break. Another free reading is going to be gifted. In order to take it, you just have to ask a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of your questions, or Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick one of your questions, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Anna had a question from the previous one, which is going to qualify into that one. And that question was, let me find it. She has a son's problems at school, so are they going to be resolved? So that question qualifies. Well, Shanna, all women in my life that I had an intimate relationship with, aside from two, which one was Libra and the other one was Leo, all water sign, where Cancer dominates by a large margin, right? So we do have something in common with that. Yeah, Pisces Moonbeam, we're all waiting for that day. And Karen, everyone has a channel who has a Gmail account. Okay, when you make a Gmail account, that is your YouTube account, basically, and it is your YouTube channel as well. So that's what you need to do. You open up a Gmail account, and there you go, you have it. So if you do have a Gmail account, you have a channel as well. Everyone has a channel. Yeah. All right. And I guess it's your question then. how deep you can dive. Those are the cards, Anna. Long story short, they will be resolved, yes. But not in a conventional way, okay? So let me give you a few examples. They may be resolved when the core of the matter, say your son has a quarrel with another student, right? With another pupil, and they will be resolved when that pupil is no longer in his class, which, for example, could happen. They may be resolved as well under other circumstances, but what those cards are saying here, it is that most likely they aren't going to be resolved because of your efforts. Now, per se, that doesn't mean that you should stop your efforts, because your efforts are going to define the state that they are going to be resolved, but the how is going to be beyond your control, right? So for what those cards are showing here is that you should stand for your word, or like stand for your belief, for the lack of better word, right? So you do want some kind of a resolution and you should stand for it no matter what. It eventually is gonna come to pass. But it's, according to these cards, is gonna take a bit of time. Actually, hold on a second. No, it's it should be resolved by the end of this month, actually. So I'm quite curious to see how it's going to work out. Yeah, Cinnamon Kiss, had been a while. You love the dark side of people? Oh, you don't want to see mine? Because funny thing, it's, you know, every time I start seeing a woman, and it comes to that, you know, we start talking about our dark sides, and I almost all the time I'm hearing the bold statement that, you know, they can handle mine, no problem, and they would like it, actually. Once they see it, it's they run away. I mean, once they see my dark side, and it is not something bad, it's just I become the most callous human being that ever exists. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It is. Yeah, when they are on the receiving end, they don't like it at all. In fact, they are asking why, right? Why am I here? Well, you said you love it, didn't you? Well, no change whatsoever, Cinnamon Kiss. My old self, literally. I had to do it. Thank you, Shakti. Alright, a minute, guys. A minute, and moving to the next, to the last 4 star signs, which are gonna be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and also Pisces. Yeah, it is. I guess they are making their courses online. Why not, at the end of the day? Oh no, it's not the first one, but usually I try to muffle it. You're right. Hey, Mel. Long time no see. I am. I am doing well. I am healthy, or at least I like to believe so. That means that I'm well no matter what. Alright, moving next. Sagittarius. Yeah, the Civil family holds the copyrights on it. Only they can teach it. So... Alright, first one for Sagittarius. 3 of Swords. Moving on, we do have 10 of Wands. Followed by the 6 of Wands. And the final one for Sagittarius, that's going to be the Star card. So, first thing that came to my mind here, by the look of those cards, it is the final push on a labor. Okay. So, I never and will never experience that. But every one of you girls who had it, you know how it is, you know, the final push, very painful probably, and then happiness, right? Then happiness, and that's what the Sagittarius are to experience into that season, the Pisces season. So there will be a I'm saying we because I do have a stellium there, so it's going to affect me one way or another. But we'll have to face some unpleasant aspects here, that Three of Swords. Those aspects primarily are going to relate us with our past. Like, for example, unfinished business or some kind of an old problem is going to resurface one more time, or it also may relate to situations that we had denied up until this point, but now they are so big that we just can't ignore the elephant breaking every glass in the room, right? So, and we have to address those kind of issues, and it will be tough. All right, it will be tough. It will require a lot of dedication. It will require a lot of efforts and a lot of investments on top of that. And when I say investment, I do mean personal time, personal dedication, and so on and so forth. These investments, they do exclude money for the most part. But those investments, they do promise a good, I would rather say even a great rewards moving forward. And as we do handle, rather like attend to those old issues, because that's what they are, right? Old issues that are going to resurface. So once we do attend to them, it could be an issue with an old friend or with an ex, for example. It could be an issue that deprives us, for example, to get back with an ex. And once resolved, now this getting back to that reconciliation now can be on the table. But the point is that on these issues, we are going to make a very quick progress, rather swift progress, and the milestones are going to start happening one after another to a point where the issue is not going to be an issue anymore. So basically, an aspect of terror, an aspect of agony, of havoc is going to transform things to our efforts, our own personal efforts, is going to transform into an era, for a lack of better words, of hope and prosperity, again, for a lack of better word. So basically, that is the final push here, the transition from an era of chaos and upheaval into an era of prosperity and longevity, hope, and dream, right? So that is how it stands for us, the Sagittarius. And should that refrain, or rather like relates to your love life, Sagittarius, then as a result you can expect an unfolding love, a love that actually answers to most of your ideals and your standards. And should that manifest in your business and into your career, you can expect a long-term project, a long-term job, a long-term aspect that is going to provide for your well-being and as well for your living. Hey, Rocky. Welcome to the stream. All right, next we do have Capricorn. Rocky, thank you for your 27.99 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. So Capricorn, first one, the Magician. Followed by the Three of Cups. Oh my God, Pisces Moonbeam, you're gonna love that. Four of Cups. Four of Wands, I'm sorry. And the final one, that will be the Two of Pentacles. So the Pisces season. All right. It's a season where you Capricorns are gonna make a lot of impression. And not just only that, you are gonna make a big claim, right? You are going to make a this is how it stands, all right? You will want what you want, and for what it seems, you are not going to put up with any less than that, and you are going to be within your right. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, it is not about what others, or rather like what the rest, how can I put it into words? It isn't about what the other people want, it's about what you want, and the others must, or they are going to be made to put up with it. Cinnamon Kiss, thank you so much with your £20. Thank you. You're facing a little issue. How do I get my kids and I out of this without any problems? All right. Thank you, Cinnamon Kiss. Let me put you into the list. And Danny as well. Danny, thank you so much for your $4.99. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, well, Pisces Moonbeam. I will give example with you, which is completely celluloid. All right, guys, it's completely fallacious example. Let's say that you want to move, okay? You want to move and you go for a for observation. You go to explore a new places where you can go and live. And Mr. Moonbeam, okay, tells you, you know, look at that house, it's really nice, it's really something like that, but you already have your mindset on some kind of a condominium or some kind of another house, and you're not going to put up with him. It is he who needs to put up with you, right? And you will say, no, that's the house I want because that and that, and your arguments is just, they will not going to be able to be argued with because they're not going to be able to be argued with. I'm not saying that they are going to be right. It is just are going to be set in such a way that it will stick, all right? What I'm trying to say here, Capricorn, it is whatever you say, whatever you do in that particular season, the Pisces season, it will stick, and it will take a mighty effort, if even possible, to be taken off the wall, so to be said. And so the result of that, or rather like the potential of it, is for you to attend to very important aspects of your life, very important details that up until this point, they were not possible to be addressed, or rather like you missed that power, so to speak, in order to finalize them completely. And your expectations could be to, or should be rather, to accomplish, or not accomplish, but finalize an important cycles of development, or in other words, striving to enter into the next phase, all right, to the next phase of your business, to the next phase of your relationship, to the next phase of your friendships, and so on and so forth. But after that, the situation is going to change a little bit, because it's going to be the next phase, means that your old concepts and your standards, that is by the Two of Pentacles, by the way, are no longer going to work, okay, in the new phase. And they need to be readjusted, they need to be realigned. So while right now, you know, you will have an exceptional standing and a standpoint which is almost impossible to be argued with, after that, it will take realignment. After that, it will take adaptability. And after that is going to take basically a new plan, and to figure out how you're going to stand in the new phase of your life, or in the new phase of your enterprise, because that's what we do have at our hands. It's a new phase of your enterprise. Well, I don't know. Time is going to tell, Pisces Moonbeam. So, if you want to accomplish something, Capricorn, this season, a fantastic time for you to do so. So, Pisces Moonbeam, I do suggest you to put up a goal for this season, okay? To be ready for going out live with me, all right? That is something you should throw at the wall, and you will see that is gonna stick. All right, moving next, we do have Aquarius. Page of Swords is the first one, followed by the Six of Swords. Moving on next, that will be the Moon. I'm pretty fitting with the Moon being there. And then it is the Three of Swords. What is so funny? uh, Sean, and Sherry, if you are listening, I make no offense to all of you ladies. I love women, all right? I love women. But Sean, your statement here, I believe, is valid for about every woman in this world, right? Because from my experience, when a woman sets her mind straight, it's pretty much done, all right? I mean, do what you will, She has it on her mind. Nothing you can do about that. That's based on my experience. And it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I always respect people who stick to their word. All right, Aquarius. Uh, well, it's a quest. Hmm. That was not fair. All right, that was not fair at all. So it's a quest for Aquarius. I don't know how to express it really. It's first of all, the whole experience. It's going to be, you know, I will try to explain it by explaining you a feeling here. So I will try to do as accurate as I can. So you know when sometimes you have a feeling that something is cooking up. You know, you have a feeling that something is about to happen, but you can't put your finger on what exactly. All right, that something is going on. So that will be the feeling that we Aquariuses are gonna have throughout the season, and it's gonna be a feeling of expectation. It's like we are expecting something different, and when I say different, I mean very different. All right, I mean imagine it like it is unique. So something unique to take place, and the feeling is gonna be that that unique thing is just behind the corner. Like any moment now, you are gonna meet the person, you know, for us to spend our life with. Any moment now, we are going to be raised at our job. Any moment now, you know, life is gonna get better. And this unique feeling, let me see the second card again. So this unique feeling, first of all, is not going to be shared with anybody else. So people are going to, when we share that even with the closest people of ours, they will disagree. They will say that nothing is coming up, you know, you are kind of like, you are fantasizing, you're making these things up, and so on and so forth. But the thing is that they have no finger in it. I mean, it's going to be unique one more time for all of us. Aquariuses, and I'm saying us because it's I am rising Aquarius as well, and because nobody is going to believe into it, we are going to feel the need to either prove or force it or find it on our own, which is going to be the worst thing we can do, to force the issue here by the Six of Swords. There is usually the Six of Swords is deprived by risk, but because it is in the second position, that deprivation of a risk or that exclusion of a risk now is going to be present in a big state, in a sense of that we have a lot that we can lose from the situation if we force the issue here. So what we need to do is trust the universe that is going to lead us to the destination where we do belong, and that will happen. All right, so the destination itself, most likely we are going to reach that destination within this within the season. And at first glance, we're going to be disappointed by it. That is just on the first glance. But afterwards, the more time we spend into that destination, whether that destination is a person or a job, you know, or a place, whatever the case, the more time we spend with it, the more we will realize that actually that is what we have needed. So our current state of life to feel complete. So that was for Aquarius. All right, Pisces now. Well, Cinnamon Kiss, I think that you are in the worst country in the world in that regard. Because when I went to England, the first thing that's kind of like fixed my attention, it is that every second word in a sentence is please and thank you, okay? And to a point where those words kind of like lose any meaning, right? They just lose any meaning. I mean, when someone says thank you or please, I don't believe that they mean it, right? It's just out of courtesy. And that's pretty much sad, because in my country, if you are to say please, you really want it. Please here is equal to begging, right? It's equal of begging. When you say please, that means that you really need it, all right? Or when you say thank you, that means that you are really grateful. When people say thank you here, when you go to the shop, we don't say I'm gonna take that please, and when I give her the money, to give the cashier the money, I don't say she or he doesn't say thank you to me, and when she give me back or he gives me back the change, I don't say thank you to them as well, because I don't need to please them to do their job and then thank them for taking away my money, right? So it's just, it doesn't make any sense, and that is how we're all here, right? And when I say thank you, that means that they actually saved the day, they actually saved the situation. So yeah, and when I was first time in England, I actually was called out. That's how can I put it into words? Well, this is what happened. I went to a grocery store, and it was the cashier was a black guy, and I took my stuff, I took my groceries, and I went to the cash out. I gave the money, they gave me, the receipt and all that, and I was about to walk away, and they called me a racist because I haven't tell them please and thank you and all these kind of courtesies. What for? So basically their presumption was, because they are black, I did not respect them enough to say please and thank you. And why would I please them to do their job? It's just, it makes no sense. Yeah. Anyway, Pisces. It's social etiquette, but it loses meaning, Tammy. It's basically, in this country with such a social etiquette, when someone tells me, please, I need that, I won't believe them, right? Because please doesn't mean anything anymore. All right, Pisces, 10 of Cups, followed by the 9 of Wands. Moving on next, we do have the Strength, And the final one for Pisces, that will be the Ace of Swords. So first and foremost, Pisces, according to these cards, you have your situations just about right. Okay, so what those cards are showing here, it is that your situations need no changing, right? You can get the most out of them as the set that they are right now. You will do much better if you try to moderate your own attitude and behavior. I'm not talking about your approach, I'm talking about your behavior. For example, just for example, let's say that you are having now constant fights with your spouse because you want one thing, they want another. Now, this reading doesn't mean that you have to change what you want. It means that you should change your behavior towards how you want it. Instead of having a constant fight with that person, why don't you try to kill the aggression with kindness? All right, and that may make them feel guilty and agree to your demands or to your wishing or whatever the case. Here with the strength, you just have to find the appropriate behavior and addressing, so to speak, toward one situation or another, which is going to work far better than trying to change the situation itself or the circumstances within the situation itself. Because according to these cards, Pisces, you now currently possess all the means you need in order to make you feel good, satisfied, and as well to resolve almost all of your issues and almost all of your concerns. Now, the result of all that at the end, it is that you are going to have everything crystal clear in front of you. You will be able to put an accurate diagnosis over all of the situations that you are finding yourself into, over all of the aspects and as well states that you are in, and as well by the end of this transit season, by the end of this season, you will have everything said. What I mean is that there are going to be no secrets whatsoever for you, meaning from other people towards you or from you toward other people. So you will, if not anything else, you will have the assets or the predisposition, I'm sorry. So you are going to have the predisposition to start clean within your love life or within your job or whatever the case. Okay. All right, so that was Pisces. Now the last free reading is going to take place. Should any of you wants to have a free reading with me, now is the time to claim one by asking a question into the comments down below. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of your questions and perform a professional reading on that question. Actually, Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick one of your questions. Dream in those free readings, I do not do general. You gotta have a question. That's the rule. By the way, guys, funny thing, last time when Karen gifted me a Lenormand reading, something about money came about that I'm going to receive something about money, right? Well, this is what came up today. It's a tax return, all right? It's a tax return. So I guess they were right again. Well, Karen, I cannot return the money. Okay, it's a tax return that I am unable to return it because it's from YouTube and those taxes are paid in United States. And in order for me as non-US citizen to return those money to me, I need something that is called International Tax Identification Number, that it is specific for the US. And in order to have that one, I need to have a US representative to take it for me because I need to be in the US, but I cannot go in US because I don't have a visa for it, you know. And it is just a magic circle that it has no resolution whatsoever. So basically those are burned money, right? But nonetheless, I received that. I can return those money if I have that ITIN number. All right, Pisces Moonbeam, pick a question. We do have, for my count, 3 questions. So thank you for your congratulations, guys. But you know, I can only I can put them on my wall like a badge of honor. All right, that I have made those money and nothing else. No, I don't get to keep it. It's just an announcement that I can have those money back if I cover up certain criteria, which I can't. You pick Cinnamon Kiss, alright? Do I get back home with my kids? And if so, how? Oh, that's the 2 questions. Cinnamon Kiss. Well, Karen, yes and no. It's horrible that I cannot make a tax return, yes, but at the same time it works a little bit in my favor because in those money I don't have to pay taxes here in my country because we do not have the double tax obligation, so to speak. Double tax obligation is that you do pay taxes in the country of working, you know, because working for YouTube considers you like working in United States, right? Like you are doing business in the United States and then paying taxes in the country you are living in, right? So for example, if I had a family here and I go and work somewhere else, let's say in England or in the United States or in Canada or in Germany, and I make money there, and then I send them to my parents, or rather like my family here in Bulgaria, they don't have to pay taxes on those money. We don't have the double tax obligation law here in Bulgaria, right? So basically I am free from a tax. With that document, when I present it in front of our IRS, I am free from paying taxes here with that document. Okay. That's all right, Cinnamon Kiss. I'm going to rephrase it. Well, Rocky, the main difference, it is the Tarot shows experiences while Lenormand shows events. So if you combine those two, the Tarot shows you, the Lenormand shows you what, while the Tarot shows you more of it how, right? So that's the main difference. Cinnamon Kiss, those are your cards. 5 of Cups, the Fool, the 6 of Pentacles, and the final one that is going to be the 3 of Swords. Okay, so Cinnamon Kiss, I don't know what you mean by that, but according to these cards, it's at least up until the end of the year. Even if you have the chance to do it, so it's not gonna be by your conditions, and it will be a partial, right? So a partial return, I don't know what they mean. For example, if you had lost the custody over your children, that is just for example, right? If you had lost custody over your children, by the end of the year you can win a partial custody back, like, you know, a supervised visitations and these kind of things, right? And that is by the end of the year. We cannot see further than that, right? But definitely after the end of this year, 2023, there could be even more improvements. As for how to, well, according to these cards, it's only within your hands, in a sense of that you cannot have anyone helping you with this one, all right? You gotta strive for it yourself by showing that, how can I put it into words? By showing and striving to make of that you are in a harmony with what your kids need, right? I don't know how you are to do that, but that is the most important criteria, at least for what those cards are showing. Oh yeah, you can get very bad news. Well, yeah, it doesn't, to be honest. And also, what the tarot says is that if you want to get back with your kids, you gotta take the matters way more seriously than you are doing right now. I mean, you gotta approach the matter in a way more serious fashion than what you are doing right now. All right, so that was the last free reading. Now, a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna go to the super chat readings. First is gonna be mine, which is a Lenormand one. No. Well, it says that I'm gonna travel, or rather, like I'm gonna set roots elsewhere. That's what it says. That should be something referring for a very, very long time ahead. I don't know what they mean, but this is what they say. I'm to set roots far, far away, unless I have a very rich uncle that I don't know about, right? Very rich one that I'm unaware of, who is gonna leave me its inheritance, because that could be the other the other manifestation, that it is that I will receive inheritance, but that makes no sense because I don't have any inheritance to receive whatsoever that I know of. All right. Pisces Moonbeam. To your question, Six of Cups. Most definitely yes. Next, Karen, your Pisces season is marked by the Nine of Swords. Yeah. All right. So marked by the Nine of Swords, Karen. Nine of Swords usually relates just in general, usually relates to standing, or rather like facing situations or aspects that you are, how can I put it into words, scared or anxious to be a part of. Like, for example, let me give you an example. Imagine a family, okay? Imagine a family where one of the spouses wants to say something, but they don't do it because they are afraid that the other person is gonna leave them for good for that, and they are scared of being left alone. So they don't want to get into that situation, all right? Because of the consequences. This is where the Nine of Swords, it is when someone is anxious, is scared of the consequences that one action or a statement or whatever the case is gonna bring to them, right? So bottom line is that at the end of the day, those consequences are something that you cannot avoid in a long term, all right? And you have to stand and basically conquer your fear. That could be something you have to do or something you have to say. So that is what the Pisces season is going to be for you from a spiritual standpoint, that you are going to conquer some of your fears in regards to, for example, your recovery, in regards to, for example, you have mentioned a few times that, you have a quarrel with your neighbors. So with your neighbors, for example, you will have to face the consequences, of something you said back in the days or something you did, and so on and so forth, all right? So that will be the Pisces season for you. Danny, your Pisces season, Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so Pisces season for you, Danny, is going to be quite productive. Eight of Pentacles relates to attending to the finest details of thy endeavors and of thy enterprises. For the reason being, usually it relates to planning and to preparation. It's like shaping your plan or preparing yourself to the finest detail. So once the initiation takes place, nothing will be in a shape or form to stop your strive, to stop your advance. Okay, in a more material aspect, the Eight of Pentacles relates to getting yourself known to the world. For example, getting the world know that you are single and you want to be with someone, or for example, in business, getting the business know that you are ready to work and you are hungry, you are faminish for new purchase orders, for new clients, which are gonna come, because for what that card shows, it is that you are to prepare, for example, your business and your work, just so people can see it as very productive as well. So it's going to be quite productive transit for you. It's going to be quite productive season. You're welcome, Melda. Have a great one. All right, Jasmine. First one is Two of Swords, Jasmine, followed by the Nine of Wands. the Justice. And the final one for you, Jasmine, that's going to be the Ten of Pentacles. So, you're welcome, Danny. So, Jasmine, that reading pretty much describes one thing. And that is that the way is paved. Or more accurately, the way is set. Basically, what that reading describes, it is that the sequence of your future have been already decided. And there is no time nor a reason for you to change anything, at least at that stage. And the whole season is you being a part in everything that's, you know, let's say you have worked for, or your actions and choices manifested, produced, so to speak. And it will be a peaceful season for you, Jasmine. It's just everything is going to hinge on an equilibrium, all right? And it's just what that means. It is that things are never gonna go out of hand, and you're never gonna feel pressed for time sensitive matters, like you have to make a snap decision right now, otherwise things are going out of hand, you know, and they're going to be thrown out of the window and so on and so forth. Instead, how it's going to feel that you are always have enough time, you know, to take it and do things not exactly your way, but the right way, for the lack of a better word. Additionally to it, you will face a lot of accountability from your behalf, from the behalf of others as well, toward their actions, toward your personal actions, and so on and so forth. The biggest beauty of your season, Jasmine, it is that no matter what, eventually what you have to do or how you have to set your choices will become obvious with time, right? So it's highly unlikely, it's not impossible, but it is highly unlikely for you, if you do take your time, for you to make a wrong step. So if you do not rush your things moving forward, with time the right choice or the right action will become pretty much obvious for you, and it will be the only thing that you should speak for or do that makes sense. And thus, by the end of this season, you should find yourself in a rather very comfortable place. Above everything else, quite independent. So your independency, for as much as you have it right now, is going to be even bigger by the end of this season. And another specific case for you, Jasmine, it is that by the end of the season, you may reconcile with someone from your past as well. That doesn't have to be, however, a romantic reconciliation. In fact, it's unlikely to be so. It could be a business reconciliation or a friendship reconciliation or a family reconciliation as well. All right, next, Anna. The Emperor, the first one, Anna, followed by the Page of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the final one, that's going to be the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So Anna, you will have to put up with shitty people. The additional card to the Page of Swords, it's the Page of Wands, right? Actually, one of the version is shitty people. It is more like childish people. The other version is your kids that you will have to put up with. Oh. The thing, Anna, it is that you're gonna have other things at your plate, and these interactions are just gonna be the cherry of the cake, and that's gonna be the last thing you need, all right, for the next 1 month. The other things most likely are going to relate to your, for example, business establishment, okay, in generally what makes your life stable. So that's for the most part, or rather like most of the time, it's business. Mm. And it's a season, Anna, where you're gonna put a really hard work to present yourself capable, to present yourself strong, to present yourself reliable as well. And these interactions with those childish individuals or children right away that don't know what they want, that's why they're childish, because they don't know what they want. You know, one day they have that opinion, the other day they do have the other opinion, the third day they don't know what they're talking about, and so on and so forth. It's constant change of mood, you know, and of standpoint and of direction. And the other thing it is that they are very insubordinate as well. So that is the last thing you need to put up with such an individuals. So that is the most, let's say, unpleasant side of the upcoming season for you. The good side of your season is that you will grow in confidence that whatever goals you set are the real goals for you. That Five of Cups pretty much shows that no matter your accomplishments into the upcoming season, whether they are big or small, you will know that that is just a part of your success. And if you do not change your direction, if you do not change your path, the results and the rewards for you are going to be so much bigger. Now, while this season could be a little bit chaotic in a sense of, you know, you don't know exactly how you should do things, and you don't know exactly, you know, you do have the idea, but you lack the full concept of it right away. And like I said, your actions may be a bit chaotic until you build and shape that concept. By the end of this season, things are going to be very simple, in a sense of that now you're going to know what you got to do, how to do it, how long it's going to take, and it's just everything is going to have cleared every step of the way, all right? And it's going to be very simple. It will be very simplified. So the only resource, well, it's not the only resource, but bottom line is that at the end of by the end of this season, the only thing that had been left from you to spend in it will be time, because it will require patience. It will require patience. However, you will have not a shadow of a doubt that your investments are gonna worth it. And that is a specific case here. By the end of the season, you may decide that you need a little bit of a break among nature. So go somewhere in a national park, or some place that it's out of civilization, or a big civilization, so to speak. All right, Rocky. All right, first one for you, Rocky, Eight of Swords, followed by the Emperor, the High Priestess. Afterwards, we do have the Five of Pentacles. And the final one, it is the Sun. That is a huge personal growth. And a personal changes. That's a short one, Rocky. So what happens into the upcoming season? That is by the 20th of March, right? Is that you're gonna start addressing. Well, basically, first of all, you will adopt the standpoint that enough is enough for a specific situations in your life, and you will address the issues, the problems, you know. Basically, you will address what makes those situations as they are, what makes those situations undermining, you know, your sense of security and your sense of stability as well. And for the most part, what's the conclusion is going to be for you, Rocky, is that it is so because you are allowing it to be. So what happens is that you will discover you can do more, much more, but you aren't doing it because there are limitations you have set, okay? Whether the limitation is ethics, like you consider one action unethical, although you can do it, all right? So that's a limitation. A limitation could be a belief. You can do it, but you do not believe that you can do it, all right? That's one thing. The other limitation could be as well bias. It could be, what is the limitation when someone tells you that you are not supposed to do it while you can do it, all right? So that kind of a limitation, these are self-imposed limitations that you're going to start bringing down, all right? And that will lead to a huge personal growth. It could be a limitation, yeah, that is also falls into a limitation of belief. Like, for example, you are looking for work, that is just for example, and you do not believe that you can handle a certain job while you can, all right? And that is a limitation that you are going to take down, for example. And that kind of a job that you haven't believed you can handle is now on the plate, so it expands your options available. And that is the reason for your that is the core topic here of your season, to expand not just only your options available, but also to expand your domain, to expand your environment. And the result of that, Rocky, by the end is going to be an expanding energies of growth. All right, how they translate? Well, they translate into a monetary gains when it comes to your material aspect, okay? And it translates into a happy interactions, happy communications, happy relationships when it comes to your personal life. But they do refer to a major growth, right? Major natural growth. That is a growth in a field that you're going to feel very, very natural at. And one warning here, should it happen that you fall in love within this season, for what if those cards are to be believed, or you happen to start date someone, right? If you don't have anyone right now, if those cards are to be believed, I have to kind of like break it for you, Rocky, that's not going to be the one, right? It's not going to be the one, according to these cards. So try to reach outside of your limits, Rocky, and it will work out for you if those cards are to be believed. All right, cinnamon kiss. You're facing a legal issue, so how do you get your kids and you out without problems? It's simple. Those are your cards. Okay. There is a person, cinnamon kiss, a person expert in your situation, most likely a lawyer, right? It could be a lawyer, or it could be because it's a kid, for example, it could be a child service individual, it could be a prosecutor, whatever the case. That's they have a recipe for that, and that recipe is not something you will put up with, at least at the start, but it is something you will have to carry on with if you want to have it without a problem, right? Your current version, because we do have these two cards here, right? These two cards. Your current version is no go. It's not gonna happen. It's not working out. For what if those cards are to be believed, cinnamon kiss. And that's one thing. The other is if you start manipulating people, right? Manipulate your ex, manipulate the court, manipulate literally everyone if you are capable to do so. That's the other thing, because for what those cards are showing, aside from that individual who is very familiar with such kind of a situation, basically this is what they are doing for living, all right? Also those cards are showing here is that you do have leverage, for a lack of a better word. Basically, let's say that you do have some dirty shirts of your ex. Well, that's something you can count on, right? Because you can never count on love. Listen, guys, love, no matter how beautiful it is, it always ends in tragedy. Even if you live happily ever after, that after comes, one of you dies from an old age, and it is a tragedy from the other one. So it always ends in tragedy, right? That's what you can expect as an end result from love. I'm sorry that I have to break it for you, but that's reality, right? That's how it ends. So yeah, cinnamon kiss, you may have some dirty shirts, some dirt rather, on your ex that has your children, a dirt that you can, if you make it your agenda, if you make it your ambition, you can freaking bury him with it, right? So the question is, are you that kind of a person? But I would bet on the first manifestation, where there is an individual who basically makes his living or her living from that kind of a situations, and try to work with them. That is, but if you are going down the road being on your own, right, it has to be through manipulation and through, yeah, burying your husband ex one with the dirt you have on him. Yeah, well, the shame comes from those cards. That's what I say. If you are that kind of a person, it comes from those cards. That is when you know what you are doing is wrong, right? Wrong in the sense of personal standards, all right? That it is something that it is the last resort, so to speak. Well, no, you are capable of more. You're just not pressed that much with your back against the wall. You are capable for more, but that is kind of like the last resort into that kind of a situation, all right? That this is the struggle here, but it's gonna work very well, all right? So if you are out of options, that is your leverage, just so you know. So with that said, guys, this concludes today's live stream. Thank you so much for attending. Yeah, that's another thing. A lawyer or a child service kind of like agent, something like that. It doesn't have to be a lawyer. If we had, for example, the King of Swords, I would told you the lawyer. But here it's more of a person of action rather than person of words, all right? So, I don't know. It could be as well a lawyer, but it may not be. Okay, so count your options available because there is a person who can do it for you. I don't know how much they are going to cost you, but they can do it for you. So with that said, like mentioned, that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for watching and as well for your generosity. And we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.